lucky cats. Lucky cat here. And hopefully I will be able to finish the perfect Robert playthrough thing. Hopefully I can perfect Robert. Robert knocks back his shot and motions for me to do the same. I reciprocate. I'm just messing with you. Relax. I laugh nervously. Or am I? I laugh nervously again. We sip more whiskey and people watch some more. Mary has her sights set on another man after the other one excused himself to the bathroom, and I assume crawled out of the window. Gosh, this whiskey's hitting me hard. You betcha. Robert gets up out of the booth, shouldering his jacket. Let's roll. Sorry, whiskey. Inside voices. Let's roll. Wait, what about Mary? Brother, Mary's gonna be just fine. I look over at Mary, who's lying on the bar in front of some poor sap. She's singing happy birthday to him while he insists that it's not his birthday. We make our way out of the bar and back onto the street. I'm trying my hardest not to stumble, but man, the sidewalk is coming right at me. I hope Robert doesn't notice me tripping over my own feet like this is the first time I've ever been drunk. Where to? You'll see. I follow Robert through the street lamp spotlights until we eventually arrive at a run-down strip mall. There's a beauty salon, a sex shop, a computer repair store that looks like it's been closed for 10 years, and finally, a liquor store. Wait here, I'll be right back. Hey. After a minute, Robert returns with 2 wine bottles in brown paper bags. He hands one to me. Cheers. He sits on the curb and drinks. He motions for me to do the same. This is really not where I expected the night to go. I take a sip. White Zinfandel? What? Nothing. I just wasn't expecting. It's delicious, fruity, and refreshing. Don't judge me. I start to say something. Think of his lecture about falling silence earlier and stop. I sip on my wine and watch cars drive by. Let's throw rocks at shit. Robert suddenly hurls a rock at a stop sign. The ding echoes through the empty parking lot. That felt good. He presses a stone into my free hand. Now you try. I don't know. With feeling. I look at the rock in my hand and look at the stop sign. Back at the rock, back at the stop sign. I know what has to be done. I got a problem with authority! I hurl the rock at the sign. It sails over the stop sign right into the window of a parked car, leaving a crack. Dude, run! I leapt up and dart into the nearest alley, wine in hand. I can hear Robert's footsteps behind me. After I'm sure I'm far enough away from the cracked window that I am no longer culpable for this heinous crime, I stop to catch my breath. Maybe restrike rock throwing from the to-do list. Agreed. At least not while drunk. Suddenly, my stomach growls. Oh man, I'm starving. Let's get pizza. I can't argue with that. Where's good around here? Actually, I don't even care if it's good. It just needs to be edible and in my mouth in the next 5 minutes. I know just the place. I follow Robert through a maze of alleys and side streets until we eventually end up in front of a tiny hole-in-the-wall pizza joint. The bright red neon sign reads, Pete's Pizza. Ta-da. I can see a few exhausted-looking workers behind the counter tossing dough and pulling piping hot pizzas right out of the stone ovens. My stomach rumbles again. We go up to the counter and get ready to order. Can I get 2 slices of Hawaiian? Oh, wait, Nick, you're cool with pineapple on your pizza, right? Duh. We wait for a minute for our pizza to come out of the oven. I'm practically drooling at the smell. The cashier hands us each a giant slice on a paper plate, so saturated with grease that I'm worried it will fall apart. We take our pizzas outside and wander through the alleyways as we eat. I take a bite. It's absolutely delicious. Pineapple is truly the best pizza topping. You said it. I wouldn't say best. It is pretty good, though. Man, I feel way better now. You and me both. We hear noise coming out of a slightly ajar door in the alleyway. Robert looks at me excitedly. Got any more of that wild in you? I'm so tired. And I love my daughter. And I should go home. And make sure she's all right. You betcha. Robert and I slide the door open and peek inside. It's completely dark except for some flickering light. We slowly creep forward, cautious not to be heard or seen. Shh. Don't shush me so loud. Shh. We come to the end of the hallway and find ourselves standing in front of the movie screen. Oh, this suddenly makes sense. Did we really just sneak into a movie theater like a couple of teenagers? No talking during the movie. We look into the audience and are surprised to find that it's almost completely empty, save for a row of a few teenagers in the front. They look annoyed when they notice us. Robert starts making his way to the very back of the theater. I follow him. We settle in with our wines and try to make sense of this movie. It's a romantic comedy, I think. A young man is frantically trying to get through New York to find the woman that he's finally realized he's in love with. Kiss already! There's nobody to kiss. There's nobody to kiss yet. You want him to kiss the taxi driver? Hell yeah. The kids down the way notice us heckling. One of them speaks up. Hey man, keep it down. Oh damn, that's Ernest Hemingway. Hugo's kid. Ernest! Hey Ernest! I know you! It's me! Your neighbor! Hi! Ernest turns back around embarrassed. I turn back to Robert. He kiss anyone yet? It turns out that yes, he did kiss someone. He made his way out to a tiny island near New York to profess his love for a woman who for some reason knew he would be there. She tells him that they hit the jackpot. He said that they had, but I think there was some subtext that I'm missing here. Boo! Love is dead. Shut up, it's beautiful. No, you shut up. Ernest grumbles. Credits start to roll. I stand up. Robert immediately pulls me back down. Hundreds of people worked very hard to make this film happen, and you're going to sit here and appreciate them. Okay. Look at that. Elizabeth Shelton. She worked really hard. I bet she did lots of good wardrobe design. Thank you, Elizabeth Shelton, for this beautiful film-going experience. And Peter Andrews Catering fed a bunch of people so that they could have the energy to do their jobs. What a guy. We let the credits roll while Robert individually thanks every member of the crew. Once it's finally over and he makes sure that no animals were harmed in the making of this film, we leave the movie theater. We stumble into the theater parking lot, polishing off the rest of our wine. Hey, assholes. Out of nowhere, a rock flies through the air and hits me on the knee. My knee! What the hell? Ernest and his friends stand in the alleyway, blocking our exit. Oh, what do you guys want? Why'd you go and throw a rock at my knee? This is my good knee. My orthopedist is gonna be pissed. Ernest tosses another rock up and down in his hands. What's wrong with this kid? You ruined my theater-going experience. Now you have to pay. Oh, well, I don't have any cash on me right now, and, movies got really expensive. Ernest hucks another rock at my other knee. I'm able to jump out of the way, but I didn't properly stretch before physical activity, and I'm probably gonna feel super sore in the morning. We ruined it for you. That movie was pretty crappy in the first place. Hey, you take that back. That was a beautiful love story with genuine acting. You call that good acting? What classist mainstream slop have you been served your entire life? What? Have you ever even seen any Michael Powell? A Matter of Life and Death, 1946. Easily the toughest 5 minutes of love you'll ever witness. Listen, man. No, you listen. That popcorn-ass drivel the mass media is serving down your throat will only make you dumber and sadder. You of all people should strive for a higher standard in the art you consume. Your name is Ernest Hemingway, for Christ's sake. Oh no, now you've done it.
Oh.
Ernest rushes Robert, screaming like a banshee. Nah! I dive between Ernest and Robert, trying to stop the kid. He lunges forward, kicking me as hard as he can in the knee. Fuck my knee! Robert gets in between Ernest and myself. It's as if he's seeing red. Fuck my fucking knee hurts. Alright, buddy. Talk like a punk, you get hit like a punk. Robert squares up into a boxer stance. Queensberry rules. 3-minute rounds with 1-minute rests in between. No low blows, fish hooks, grabs, or high blows. What? And don't even think about pulling an illegal turnstile. That's an automatic deduction of 3 points. You'll have to designate a second if you're unable to fulfill your role as main duelist. One of your friends over there looks like he has enough youthful vivacity to handle it. Hey man, I don't want to dragged into this. That movie sucked. It's too late. You two are blood-bound. If he dies, you die. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Duck to Queensberry. We're just gonna go. Ernest and his friends whirly back away. Robert calls after them. The Queensberry Association will hear about this. And consume better content. Once the teens are safely out of earshot, Robert turns to me. Were you about to actually fight that kid? Are you kidding me? I would never hit a child. That would be despicable. You throw the rules at them, though. They always bolt. Nobody wants a Queensberry sanctioned throwdown. But full disclosure, I made half of that up.
Oh.
Wow. See, you don't even have to know the rules. You just make them up.
Oh.
Come on, let's get out of here. Please don't make that sound in my ear again. That was too pleasant. Robert and I cooled down a bit as we walk back to the neighborhood. I'm so sorry. I get really into the art of filmmaking when I drink. It's okay. I think it's cool how much you like movies. To be honest, I didn't know a lot about them myself. Buddy, I got so much to show you. Ever seen Sam Fuller? I haven't. Fuller is cash. Thanks for the adventure. Adventure is all I got, buddy. Robert throws an arm around my shoulder, and we drunkenly belt out tunes all the way back. We finally get to his doorstep. This was an interesting night. I liked it. A smile forms on his cheeks. A rare sight. Let's hang out again soon, yeah?
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
I linger there for a second, swaying drunkenly in the night breeze. Robert claps me on the shoulder. Night, bud. Robert heads back inside, and I stumble my way back home. How well did I do?
I may be bad.
Shut!
Bad.
I need to have a serious word with you about that line, Dan. That was terrible. Fast forward time. Shave with the grain. Robert, please.
Welcome. You've got dads.
I had a lot of fun with Robert the last time we hung out, but I'm beginning to wonder if he's dodging me. I've tried messaging him a few times on Dad Book, and he says he hasn't even read them. Haven't even seen him come out of his house, actually. Almond. Duh. I've been leading a double life.
Oh.
No. No! Oh, wait.
Hey.
Too far. Too far. Almond, please. I'm leading a secret double life. Hey, Nick. Hey, Nick. Hey, I'm outside. Come outside. What is that? I was just on the verge of falling asleep. Come outside. Don't make me honk. I will honk. Get out here. I look out my window and, sure enough, there's Robert leaning up against his pickup truck in my driveway. I open my door and try to figure out what's going on. Hey? Hey? Wanna hang? I was kind of sleeping.
Hey.
That's no fun. Come hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that sleeping is very fun, but I don't have to be anywhere in the morning. Might as well live a little. Sure. Cool. You plan on going out like that? Look down. I look down and realize that I am, in fact, not wearing pants. I mean, I don't mind. Right, 1 second. I run inside and throw on my going out pants, shoes, and a jacket. I grab my keys and meet Robert back outside. Ready? Ready. Hop in. Don't. I will smack you if you do that again. Especially into my ear. I jump into the passenger seat of his old red pickup truck. I have to move a few empty cigarette packets and gas station receipts out of the way before I can sit. Robert silently starts the car, and we drive out of the cul-de-sac. You like Tom Waits? Who? Love him. Before I can answer, Robert turns up the radio. Yep, that's Tom Waits, alright. He lights a cigarette and cracks the window. We drive together in silence. So, where are we going? Robert doesn't respond. Robert? Oh, I heard you. He still doesn't answer my question. I look out the window and notice that Robert's taking us to the highway. I twiddle my thumbs. Well, whatever I've gotten myself into, it looks like I'm in it for the night. I settle into my seat and watch the streetlights pass by. I glance over to Robert, who's driving intently. He looks tired, as he always does, but there's something a bit more there that I just can't place. Are you okay? Just peachy. Stop looking so nervous. I'm not nervous. I am a little nervous. Just hang on. We're almost there. Almost where? I have no idea where we are. I think we're moving at a slight incline, but I'm not so sure. We eventually come to a stop. Robert gets out of the car, and I sit for a second, unsure if he wants me to get out too. What are you waiting for? I hastily exit the car. Robert sits on the bed of his truck and pats the space next to him. I sit down and take in the view. We're on a hill overlooking the city skyline against the bay. The cool night air rustles some trees near us as lights blink in the distance. Off to the side, I can see an entrance to a dense forest. Man, it's all so gorgeous. This is where I come to masturbate. What? I'm kidding. What's wrong with you? This is my little spot where I come to think. It's nice. You can see the whole city from up here. Really gives you some perspective. Robert reaches behind him and pulls something out from under his jacket. It glints in the moonlight, and I suddenly realize what it is. Oh shit, that's a knife. Oh. Please don't stab me. Robert reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small piece of wood. Please don't stab me with that either. Robert takes the knife to the piece of wood and starts carving it at it. Oh. I breathe a very audible sigh of relief as Robert looks at me sideways. Did you think I was going to stab you just now? What? No. Hate to break it to you, but I did, in fact, bring you out here to harvest your organs. Play on. Yeah, well, you think you caught me in your trap, but I knew. For years, I've been putting the most vile junk food in my body in preparation for this day. Come at me, friend, and reap what you will. 2 steps ahead of you at all times. That's how I operate. Ha! Nothing gets past you, huh? Robert reaches into his pocket and pulls out a folding knife that he opens and hands to me. I'm gonna warn you, the last guy I had a knife fight with lost 3 fingers because he didn't know the 8 basic rules of knife fighting. You're familiar, correct? I honestly can't tell when you're kidding. I have so many levels of irony deep that I've forgotten what humor is. He and I laugh. Have you ever whittled before? Considering that I'm not a grandpa? No. What do you mean by that? Well, I just thought that you would have a block of wood shipped to you along with your first Social Security check. Nick, I'll have you know that whittling is a time-honored tradition enjoyed by both young and old alike. That you're discriminating it before you've even tried it speaks volume about your character. However, because I've gotten to know you for some time and have come to think of us as friends, I am willing to attribute it to ignorance instead of malice. What I'm trying to say is, go get that stick. Robert motions to a good-looking stick on the ground, perfect for potential whittling. I pick it up. The most important thing to remember while whittling is to cut with the grain, not against it. If you cut against the grain, the wood is going to splinter. Isn't the most important thing safety? No.
Oh.
Getting hurt comes with the
Oh.
territory. Look at my damn hands. I look at his damn hands. They're calloused and covered in little white scars. They are very nice hands. Can't make a stick omelet without breaking a few hand eggs. Ag! While I'm distracted, the knife slices into my thumb. Blood gushes all over my little wooden carving. Robert is lost in carving and doesn't notice me bleeding everywhere. Robert still doesn't notice. Robert, I'm dying. I'm bleeding to death. Robert finally looks over. He reaches into his jacket again. Jesus! How much stuff did this guy keep in there? And pulls out a red bandana. He wraps it around my thumb. Hold tight. He hops off the truck and I can hear him rummaging around in his car. He comes back a moment later with a well-stocked first aid kit. Robert carefully wipes all the blood off my hand and swipes a bit of antiseptic onto the cut. With surprising gentleness, he places a bit of gauze on the wound and wraps it all up. You okay? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, no.
He hands me what's left of the tube of antiseptic. Make sure to keep that cut clean. It's oddly touching and a little sexy. I guess I'm a real whittler now. That you are. Be careful though. They're attracted to the smell of blood. Wait, what? What's attracted to the smell of blood? Cryptids. Tons of them out here, you know. Cryptids? Like Mothman and stuff? Mothman is bullshit, but yeah. This town's a hotbed for cryptozoological occurrences. You're joking. Oh, how I wish I were. I'm a skeptic myself, or at least I thought I was. There are things in these woods that we can't possibly comprehend. I think about my entire time in this city. Aside from the occasional stray coyote, I don't think it's too bad. You ever heard of the Dover ghost? I don't think so. Well, let me tell you a story.
There.
I was out in the woods here on a weekend camping trip with Betsy. You don't know Betsy, but she's a big pit bull. Real intimidating. I feel safe around her. First night goes without incident. I get some solitude. Betsy gets to pee wherever she wants. All good stuff. Second day, I get the idea into my head that I can hike deeper into the woods. Probably against my better judgment, but hey, we're just having a fun camping trip, right? So me and Betsy start marching in the morning. It gets a little late and we set up camp, but it's different this night. Real quiet. I can't hear the birds, the crickets, squirrels, nothing. Dead silent. Then it happens. I hear the most unholy growl I've ever heard in my life. I ran outside my tent. Me and Betsy. We go to investigate. We look around the clearing. Nobody's there. But there's this feeling. Not sure if I can quite describe it. I know something is watching us. Betsy, though, she's scared. Never seen her act like that. Never seen her like that. And when she's scared, I know that I should be too. And then I see it in the distance. A man, but if something that didn't know what a man was supposed to look like made it. It just looked wrong. Big, arms too long for its body, black eyes. It just stood there and stared at me. Then it disappears. I hear one yelp from Betsy and I turn around to check on her, but she's gone into thin air. I didn't sleep at all in my tent that night, and I don't think I've slept right since. That's terrible. Wow, Robert. I'm so sorry. They say if you listen closely on quiet nights, nights just like tonight, you can hear the howl of the Dover ghost. A howl resonates through the woods. It doesn't sound like a regular howl. It's so guttural. Even from far away, something about it makes my skin crawl. Okay, Robert, real funny. I turn to look at Robert. He's white as a sheet. You're messing with me, right? I was messing with you.
Really?
Up until literally just now. I totally made that camping story up. I strained my eyes to scan the forest, trying to see where the howl originated from. Off in the distance, I see something. And so far away, I barely can make out a shape. It looks human, but it's dragging something. Do you see that? We should go. Yeah.
Really?
Robert and I slowly back away and get into the truck. He turns off his headlights and we make a slow crawl away back onto the road. I'm too scared to look back. What was that? The Dover ghost, I guess. I chuckle nervously. This time he doesn't seem like he's messing with me. Or maybe someone literally dumping garbage on a wildlife preserve. Yeah, that's the story we'll tell ourselves. We sat in silence for a little longer,
Whoa.
with the fear of whatever that was slowly subsiding as we get closer to the city. Thanks for coming out. This was fun. I'm sorry I haven't been in touch. I've just been away lately. I had to get out of the house. Had to be around somebody. You doing okay, man? Robert thinks for a second and lights another cigarette. Been doing a lot of thinking. He takes a long drag.
Hey.
As I get older, I feel more and more that I'm just drowning in this sea of regret. I was so busy chasing after these things that I thought would make me happy that I didn't think about anyone else. All I cared about was myself. I didn't even think. Robert stops. I wait for him to finish his thought, but he just stares at the road. Maybe I'm just built like this. Or maybe I do it to myself. Maybe it's my own choice that I'm as unhappy as I am. I tried to think of something to say. I remember all of the times in my life when I've been sad. And there's a great many of them, but there was always a light at the end of the tunnel. Something I held on to that kept me going. But there's something so resigned about the way Robert's talking. I'm glad you told me. It must have taken you a lot to want to tell somebody this. You're a mysterious guy, Robert. You don't have to be. Do you ever wish you were a better father? I think about it for a second. All the time. You can read all the parenting books you want, but nothing will ever prepare you for raising a child. There's so much stuff I regret or wish that I could have done better, but I don't have the answers. I don't know if anyone does. It's funny. I look at you and your relationship with your daughter, and it seems perfect. It isn't. At least you're there for her. I stare out the window at the blur of passing trees. I just hope I'm a better father to my kid than my dad was to me. What did your dad do? It's more about what he didn't do. He was quiet, stoic. Didn't think he ever once told me that he loved me. He cared more about his work than he ever did about me or my mom. Do you hate him? No. I used to, but After I became a parent, I kind of felt bad for him. He missed out on my whole childhood. When I think about all of the happiest moments in my life, they're all with Amanda and Alex. He just wasn't there. It hurt like hell when I had to leave him to die in the Belarusian prison. What? I turned and smiled at him.
Huh?
No, he's retired in Florida with my mom. We go there every Christmas. We both break out into laughter. He pats me on the shoulder. We drive the rest of the way in silence, listening to the radio and watching the bright lights of the city grow bigger. Robert drops me off at my place as I'm about to close the passenger. Have I been saying it right this entire time and I thought I was saying it wrong? As I'm about to close the passenger door, I realize that I still have Robert's pocket knife in my jacket. I pull it out and offer it back to him. You hold on to that. Never know when you might need it. Night, Robert. Have a safe drive home. Robert smirks, then pulls away. He then immediately pulls into his driveway, which is one over from mine. He gets out and waves. Hi! I tiptoe in the house, careful not to wake Amanda up. Whoa, where'd you come from? I look around and spot Amanda coming out of the kitchen with a glass of water. I thought you were sleeping. Oh, Robert woke me up to go cryptid hunting. You know the Mothman is bullshit, right? Amanda? Lane. You know what? It's fine. I think about the conversation I had with Robert in the car as Amanda starts walking towards her room. Hey, Amanda. She stops. I love you. It's weird when you say it outright and sincerely like that, but I love you too. Night. I chuckled to myself, then finally decided to go to bed. Alright, how well did I do this time? Didn't do good on Goofy or Paranoia. I did get an A though. Well, it's been a long day. You don't have to tell me whatever I named you. Alright, I'll leave you be. The best friend?
Oh, no.
You got it. I'm so proud of you.
All right.
The gossipy
Oh,
one?
no.
What did MLR say? I cannot believe that. It's not dumb to feel. Real friends don't stab you in the back, Manda Panda.
I love you too, Dad.
Robert,
Welcome.
one
You've
last
got
time.
Dads.
Don't trust gas station egg sandwiches. I haven't spoken to Robert since that night we drove out to his thinking spot. He seemed unusually somber then. Like, more so than the usual amount of somber that Robert is, which is already a lot. I've been thinking about him and hope he's doing okay, but I've been a little reluctant to reach out to him. Nick, hey Nick, guess who's getting their drink on tonight? I take a look at my dadbook messages. There's a flurry of them from Robert. Guess. It's you. Also me, but mostly you. Yeah, dude. Tonight we ride. Yes. Meet me at Jim and Kim's at 8 p.m. Not that I'm unappreciative, but I think this is the first time that Robert's giving me more than an hour's warning before hanging out. Amanda! Amanda pops her head into the hallway. Music I don't recognize is playing from her room. What's up? I'm hanging out with Robert later tonight. Okay, cool. Robert, who is my friend. I have friends. I'm happy for you, Dad. People enjoy my company, Amanda. Dad, I'm so happy for your continued development as a human being. What are you listening to? Sad shit. Amanda, language. Sad stuff, sweetie. Holy stuff, lay off me, Pops.
Ugh.
Amanda goes back into her room and turns up the volume to her sad stuff. I put on my going out coat and walk over to Jim and Kim's. I spot Robert leaning against the brick wall, smoking a cigarette. As I get closer, I realize that he looks a little different. Cleaner, I guess. It actually seems like he combed his hair, and his clothes are less wrinkled than usual. Hey. Hey. You take a shower just for me? I'm working on my relationship with existence. We both stand there for a second and don't say anything. Robert finishes his cigarette and abruptly goes inside. I follow him. By the time I get inside, Robert's already at the bar ordering 2 whiskeys. I spot a booth in the back and claim it for us. Robert slides in and hands me a glass. 2 toast. Saving. Definitely don't want to mess this up. To you. Here's to your continued existence. Yes. We clink whiskeys and I watch him sip his, rather than his traditional approach of slamming the whiskey back as quickly as possible. So what's the plan for tonight? Hit some other bars, maybe grab some pizza. I think that'll kill some time before we go burn down that old abandoned house in the woods. It's definitely not as fun if it's abandoned. Mary pops over the back of the booth, a glass of wine in her hand. She punches Robert in the shoulder. Where was my phone call? Sorry, figured you were busy sinking your teeth into some poor sap. I am. He's right here. I look around the booth to see a guy sitting across from her. He waves meekly. You replacing me with the new kid? Mary, I can never replace you, whether I wanted to or not. Mary leaves her booth and slides in next to Robert. The guy she was sitting with looks mildly relieved. She eyes Robert's clean-pressed clothes up and down suspiciously. What? Do you got a court date coming up? He looks handsome. I think he cleans up nicely. Not what I wanted. Whoops. I just did the same thing on accident because I clicked too much. He does. Courts offered me impunity if I would testify against him. I'm considering it. Seriously though, what's up with you? Robert stares down at his drink, suddenly looking serious. It's Pappy. Doctor says his cirrhosis. It's cirrhosis. It's time to Google. Hold that thought. Definitely should not voice search. That would be silly. That would defeat the point of me Googling it. Because that's what I'm Googling. How on earth would you pronounce that? Google. Okay. CIRRHOSIS. H-O. Yes. Cirrhosis, a chronic disease of the liver marked by degeneration of cells, inflammation, and fibrosis, thickening of tissue. It's typically a result of alcoholism or hepatitis. Doctors say it's cirrhosis of the liver. I told that old bag of bones to quit it with the sauce, but it's all he's ever known, especially since Ma's gone. That's why I invited you out tonight. Just didn't want to be alone. Oh, come on. Nick, don't be an asshole. You know the one thing Robert doesn't joke around about? His pappy. Whoops. They're giving him 2 months. I gotta help him straighten out his affairs. Robert, I'm so sorry. Robert takes a long look at his whiskey. I'm getting the dim glow of the bar's lights. I look at his life, then I look at mine, and I know history is just doomed to repeat itself. Oh my god. I'm just kidding. He's retired with his new girlfriend in Acapulco. They watch the sunset every night. Probably screw like donkeys. Wait. Aren't rabbits the ones who screw a lot? Oh, sorry. Didn't realize you were an expert on which animals screw a lot. Please stop saying the word screw.
Come on.
Robert finishes his drink and slides it away from him. He gets up out of the booth. Me and Nick are gonna hit the bricks. You coming with us? Mary casts one last glance at the sad sap she's been hunting down and sits down the rest of her and downs the rest of her wine in one gulp. This place is dead anyways. We exit the bar and find the typically empty street filled with a small crowd of people. At the front is a guy with a really deliberate attitude and bad posture. He carries a lantern and he shines up at his face for dramatic effect. What's going on? Looks like it's one of those walking ghost tours. Do they do that in this part of town all the time? I've always wanted to do one of those. You know all of those stories are fake, right? Pretty much all of my stories are fake. This is research. Robert makes a beeline toward the back of the group. He turns around when he notices that I'm not following him. Come on. We can't just crash it, can we? Don't be such a square, Nick. Just act like you belong. Robert slides up to the tour group. I reluctantly fall into step behind him. Well, here goes nothing. Hey. It was this place in 1694 that the most infamous witch trials were held. To date, we do not know if the people were burned at the stake were actually witches, but it is widely reported that their ghosts still haunt this hapless dive bar to this very day. It was actually 1692. What? And the site was over by the coffee shop down the road. I'm sorry. Who are you? Daniel McSturgis, ghost historian. And this is my colleague, Dr. Ooh, I get to make an 80s, 90s, 2000s, or contemporary reference. You seem like a contemporary person. Dr. Babadook, paranormal investigator extraordinaire. We're touring America's most haunted locations as research of our new book. You may have seen our guest cameo on Paranormal House Hunters, Extreme Edition. Well, you didn't not like it, but you didn't really like it either. Oof, you hated that. Okay, what can I get with the 80s reference? Dr. Prescott. Ah. Dr. Loomis, paranormal investigator extraordinaire. We're touring America's most haunted locations as research for a new book. You may have seen our guest cameo on Paranormal House Hunters Extreme Edition. A couple of people in the group start nodding. Man, Robert's good at this. Are you guys part of the group? I don't remember seeing you at the first stop. We like to keep a low profile. Easier to catch ghosts that way. They've definitely been here. Been standing next to them the whole time.
Hey.
Thank you, random lady who I do not know. As I was saying, the epicenter of paranormal activity can be found at the Coffee Spoon, over there. The man who runs it has been plagued by hauntings since he signed the lease. Damn near driven him mad. But whatever you want to say is cool, I guess. It's your door. Man, I didn't know that about Matt. Wait, Robert's making this up. The rest of the tour group listens intently to Robert's every word. I think the tour guide can tell that he's losing the group. He seems to be getting flustered. Thank you for your contribution and knowledge, Mr. Mick Sturgis. Let's move on to the next haunted location. Robert, Mary, and I follow the group down the street. That tour guide's shirt is cool. Yeah, everyone in the group gets one if we make it to the final location. I want one. I turn to Robert and grab him by the shoulders. I need that t-shirt. Well, guess we're in this for the long haul then. Just follow my lead. Don't arouse too much suspicion, and we'll have cool ghost shirts in no time. Yes!
Hey.
Our group arrives at an old, decrepit, colonial-style house. A quick pause in the tour. My name is Quinn, but most people on the ghost tour circuit call me Tour Master Quinn. I'm a DJ, trivia master, and part-time actor. I do private ghost hunting events, birthday parties, MC bar mitzvahs, and perform traditional... Wish I didn't close Google. Hold that thought. I mean, I could attempt it, but I'm not gonna. V-E-U-D. Yes. Definition, so I can get the pronunciation as well. Well, if I could just get the pronunciation, please, that would be great. And performed traditional vaudevillian mime work. A type of entertainment popular chiefly in the U.S. in the early 20th century, featuring a mixture of specialty acts such as burlesque comedy and song and dance. Cool. Tourmaster Quinn gives out headshots to all of us. His resume is on the back. Strange combat experience. Stage combat experience. Anyway, here's a little bit of history for you all. This was the home of the noted American author Dorothy Pembridge, whose prose was wildly popular in the late 19th century. It was in the attic of this very home where she wrote such classics as The Diary of a Victorian Mistress, Lady Fitzwilliam's Courtship, and The Ghost of Sea Captain Reginald Berkeley. She unfortunately died of consumption after the turn of the century, but several people have reported that on some nights you can see a light from the attic, where the ghost of Miss Pembridge continues work on her latest bestseller. I guess you could say that she was consumed by her work. Ah. That was terrible. No reaction from the crowd. This guy needs to work on his dad jokes. Actually, consumption is the popular cover-up. Little known fact that it was a murder-suicide. I'm pretty sure she died of consumption. Sure. And we definitely didn't hire Stanley Kubrick to elaborately fake the moon landing. That's the watered-down, censored version they teach you in school. But if you can't handle the real story, I understand. It's not for the faint of heart. Can we? I think everyone would much rather hear what this world-renowned ghost historian has to say. Right, everybody? The group murmurs in agreement. I will stand beside you silently. This is a topic we cover extensively in our book, Dr. Loomis. Would you care to tell the story? No. Rely on amazing improvisational skills. I try to remember something. Anything from the improvisational comedy class I took that one semester in college. Yes. So Dorothy Pembridge was writing a lot of books. Yes. And I'm going to need a word from the audience. Any word. Ghost. Yes. And ghost. Ghost end. I look over to Robert. I think this is this part where he's supposed to come tapping me on the shoulder and jump into the scene, but he's just staring at me. This is not working. Bail! Go with something I know. In the 19th century, Dorothy Pembridge was credited for protecting New York City from potentially world-ending paranormal forces. Despite her success, her ragtag group of ghost hunters were disbanded by government officials. This is Ghostbusters. Nope, it's not. He liked it. He liked my plot of Ghostbusters. Yes. The tour guide sees this as an opportunity to take back the group and address us with some razzle-dazzle. What an interesting story. Now, I just want everyone to know that the next location is extremely terrifying. If anyone thinks they can't handle it, feel free to excuse yourselves. Excuse me, I'm leaving. Alright, I'm bored. Mary turns to a young guy looking at his phone and taps him on the shoulder. Hey kid, fancy buying a girl a drink? The guy looks up at her and smiles. Only if the bar is haunted. Honey, I can show you the most haunted place in town. I think I could exorcise your demons, if that's what you're looking for. Don't write checks you dick can't cash, kid. His eyes go wide. Mary salutes me and Robert. She suddenly pulls me into a hug and murmurs into my ear. When you've known Rob for long enough, as I have, you know when something's wrong. Keep an eye on him for me tonight, okay? Sure, Mary. Good man. She pats me on the back and pulls away. She takes the guy's hand and leads him down the street. Take it sleazy, fellas. God help that poor soul. Mary or the kid? Both. Our last stop, the burial ground, is such a hotbed for horrifying paranormal activity that I'm not even sure where to begin. There's the wailing ghost of Wharfman, the vampire of Maple Bay, the children of the moonlight. What about the Dover ghost? I know this story. By this point, the tour guide is clearly irritated with us. What about it? Oh, nothing. I just think it would be a crime to come all the way out to this cemetery, the actual origin of one of New England's most notorious paranormal entities, and not even mention the infamous Dover ghost. That's not a real thing. This is absolutely not a real thing. I think someone needs to brush up on their paranormal history. I know tons about paranormal history. I know every ghost story in this area. I can guarantee there's one you don't know. Robert looks over at me and smiles. Would you folks care to hear the tale of how Loomis and I met? No. The entire group stresses the tour guide. Okay, fine. Tell the story. Well, it was a dark and stormy night.
I don't know.
I wasn't always a paranormal investigator. Way back when, I was just saving Bible salesman. Okay, but does he like this? You're neutral about it.
Hmm?
Traveling griffer? That's what I'm talking about. Moving from town to town, always looking for my next mark. It wasn't an easy life, but I had fun. Taking from the rich, giving to the poor. Actually, also taking from the poor. I had a shaky moral foundation. I happened upon the quiet town of Maple Bay by accident, but little did I know that this city has a dark side. Now, about the same time, I was just starting out as an apprentice to a rather famous ghost hunter who was an old family friend of mine. I carried the equipment, operated the EVP machine, all that. Wait, yes? Who was the famous ghost hunter? Well, I don't like to name drop, but Georgia Mathers. The Tory group gasps. Georgia Mathers? She's a legend. Do you know her? Knew her. Amazing woman. Died mysteriously.
No.
Miss you, Georgie. Anyway, we were in Maple Bay investigating some reports of strange lights and sounds coming from the cemetery late at night. Now, we had been warned by the old crypt keeper that this place was highly dangerous, but Georgia was never one to shy away from an adventure. We camped out in the center of the cemetery for 3 nights straight. We endured your so-called wailing watchman. Wailing ghost of the wharf man. Whatever. Your stupid vampire was just a teenager in a mask. But the Dover ghost? Man, tell him, Loomis. So, there I was, walking back to my hotel after a long day of saving, working a couple short cons. Gotta keep it linear. Classic pigeon drop scam. Putting out feelers for a rip deal. I was going to steal a baby, probably. Would have made me rich. I found myself walking past this very cemetery. Now, I was never a very superstitious man, but something seemed off. I could hear some sort of commotion happening deep within the graveyard, and I felt compelled to investigate. And thank God you did. Georgia and I were conducting a seance in the mausoleum. At first, things were pretty normal, but after about an hour, everything went south. Playing back the EVP meter, we were able to hear a single word. Run. The air suddenly went cold. Something was very, very wrong. I just knew we weren't alone. We started to hear this faint, distant scraping noise like something being dragged across the ground. It got louder and louder until it was deafening, some kind of demented howl. And then I felt it. Something grabbing my ankle. Robert has the whole crowd hook, line, and sinker. You could hear a pin drop. I've only cried twice in my life. It was at the birth of my daughter. The other was when that thing started dragging me. I wasn't sure where it was taking me, but it was no place I wanted to go. I was sure I was going to die. The moment I crossed the gate into the cemetery, I heard this god-awful screeching. I ran into the mausoleum just in time to see a man being pulled across the floor by... God, to this day, the mere thought of it ties my stomach into knots. It looked like a man, but like... I glanced at Robert. Like, someone who didn't know what a man was supposed to look like tried to put one together. The arms were too long. Its eyes glowed red. It was like a walking shadow. What'd I do? What any good person would do. I lunged for. Shoot, what was his fake name again? Daniel McSturgis. Daniel. I grabbed his hand and entered into a tug of war with the unholiest of forces. I thought I was going to be torn in half. But I had God on my side. The pocket Bible I always kept on me fell out of my shirt pocket, and to this day, I can remember what passage it opened up to. I don't know my Bible passages! Curses! Well, one thing to do at a time like this. You did not like that. Okay. Well, he was neutral. Nope.
I don't know.
Ah.
I don't know.
Okay. That one. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. I had no idea where Robert pulled that verse from. With a horrifying growl, the entity finally relented. Daniel and I collapsed onto the ground, exhausted. We were both covered in blood. That damn creature clawed at my chest. Got me real good. Had to get 16 stitches. Robert pulled down the collar of his shirt to reveal a long, wicked scar across his pecs. And that's how I got this scar. I followed Georgia Mathers to the end of the earth. We faced exorcisms, demons, poltergeists that threw our equipment across the room. But I had never seen Georgia so scared. She was never the same after that, and neither was I. Watching what happened to Daniel and Georgia shook my faith. But I came out of that experience a better man and a better friend. And we've been brothers ever since. The tour group gives us a round of applause as Robert and I share an emotional hug. As he embraces, I can smell the cologne on his neck. Wow, Robert does clean up good. Let me just... I bet he smells so good. I find myself lingering a little too long on the hug. The tour guide seems to have bought it. Even he's wiping a tear from his eyes. Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be able to share our story. Be sure to watch out for our book. Ha ha. The bro guys. Robert had to suppress the laugh at that one. Well, you both definitely earned your t-shirts.
Oh.
The tour guide hands us the coveted t-shirts. He then slips us both his business card and leans in close. If you guys are ever in need of a professional actor, balloon animal artist, Elvis impersonator, or nude model, please don't hesitate to contact me. I don't think we will be needing you for nude modeling. You got it, buddy. After a couple of tourists take selfies with us, we split away from the group and walk home. That was incredible. I really can't believe they bought all of that. I didn't know you had it in you. Nick, excuse me, Dr. One. That bit about the pocket Bible was aces, although giving the Dover ghost glowing red eyes was a little cliche. And the Kubrick conspiracy theory bit wasn't. All a part of the character. Well, we got the shirts out of it. We arrive in front of Robert's house. Want to have a drink? Yes. Is that even a question? Robert, have you known me for? Do you really think I would turn down the opportunity to share a fine alcoholic beverage with my treasured friend and accomplice, Mr. Robert Bobbert Small? If you ever call me Bobbert again, I will kick you right in the shins. Both of them. Then you could expect an angry phone call from my orthopedist in the morning. Bobbert. Robert just laughs and starts unlocking his door. My shins live to die another day. Robert leads me inside. I can't help but think about what Mary said to me. Robert did seem a little bit off, but that completely disappeared when we were joking around with the ghost tour. I don't know. He's hard to read. While I'm thinking, I hear claws skittering across the floor. Oh God, it's his pit bull. I'm about to be torn to shreds. I shut my eyes tight and brace for impact. Betsy, hey, be nice. I don't feel anything but tiny paws scratching at my shoes. I open my eyes. Betsy? Robert's dog jumps away from me, running around in circles and sniffing Robert's legs. He pats her on the head. Hey, that's not a pit bull. That's the cutest, dumbest Boston Terrier I've ever seen. Betsy, you're not a pit bull? And you weren't taken by the Dover ghost? Betsy's made of tougher stuff than that, ain't you, girl? Betsy rolls over for some well-deserved belly rubs. My dog likes belly rubs.
Hey.
I just keep a picture of a large pit bull in my wallet in case of emergencies. Comedic emergencies. We make our way to Robert's living room. For a quiet man with arguably the oldest pickup truck that can be legally driven, his place is amazing. There are sleek modern appliances throughout the room with a big flat screen TV mounted on the wall. He has shelves upon shelves of DVDs. Guess he wasn't lying about being really into cinema. He pours us both glasses of whiskey from a well-stocked bar in the corner while Betsy curls up on a pile of cushions. So, how did you really get that scar? And don't tell me you got it fishing for Alaskan king crabs in the Bering Sea or something. You trained me too well. Robert laughs and takes a sip of his drink. My daughter and I were riding our bikes. I hit a rock, flew over the handlebars, and then we went to the hospital, and that's it. Not a very interesting story. I've never heard you talk about your daughter. Well, I have one. That's her. He points at a picture on the wall of a very serious little girl with dark eyes. Yep. That's definitely Robert's daughter. How old is she? 25? 26? Not too sure. Does she live around here? No. Val lives back home in Brooklyn.
Really?
Works at some new media outline magazine thing. Makes buckets, though. He suddenly seems really serious. I probably shouldn't press him about it. You like Santana?
Oh.
Is that a trick question? Great.
Oh.
Robert puts on Santana, then takes a seat on the couch next to me. He suddenly downs his drink in one gulp. Hey, are you alright? Robert leans in and kisses me,
So,
the taste of whiskey burning my lips. I'm surprised at first, but slowly relax into his arms. He pulls away slightly, his lips barely brushing against my mouth. I am now. I can't say anything, but at best managing a sigh. Robert leans in again, kissing me harder. He pulls my bottom lip between his teeth and bites lightly, sliding a hand under my shirt. My heart pounds in my chest as he lies us both on the couch. He kisses a trail down my neck, his teeth grazing my skin. I just wait. It's not that. Robert bites down and I have to stifle a moan. Stop. Robert stiffens up and pulls away. No biting? No, I'm more than okay with that. Something's up.
Hey.
Robert runs a hand through his hair and looks away. I'm fine. I've just been kind of stressed out. Tired. Not a big deal. Listen, I want this as badly as you do, but I know something's wrong. I need to make sure that you're okay. Robert stares at the ground. You don't know me that well, Nick. I'm not a good person. He takes a deep breath. I spent my whole life only taking and taking and taking. And now, here I am, an old broken man sitting on top of a pile of everything I've ever taken, alone. But I want to know you. You don't have to keep hiding beneath fake stories and acting like you don't have feelings. He sighs heavily. It's Val. She's visiting tomorrow. She wants to patch things up. Are you? I'm sorry, but is this a bit? No. When was the last time you saw her? 3, 4, I think. Months? Years. I sat up straight. Jesus, Robert, what happened between you two? I don't want to talk about it. Robert and I sit in silence, neither of us wanting to look at each other, both of us unsure what to do next. Fine. Fine. Things were already bad between us. I cared about her. I always did. Things just got in the way. And before I knew it, she was leaving for college, wanting nothing to do with me. Marilyn and I moved out here to settle down. We thought it would help to get away from all the distractions, all the money, the drinking. But temptations get to you. I tried to be better, but I just couldn't. And then the accident changed everything. I think every day how she must have died hating me. I never became the better man that she wanted me to be. The one she always saw in me. She was the last thread Val and I had connecting us together. I didn't know that when I lost my wife, I was going to lose my daughter too. Robert, I spent so much time chasing after things I thought were going to make me happy that I ruined my only real chance at happiness. Now my wife is dead and my daughter hates me. And then I convinced myself that this... He gestures vaguely in my direction. Was going to make me happy. Why do I even try anymore? I'm so sorry. I know how hard it is to... No, you don't. How could you possibly know how this feels? You did everything right. Your daughter loves you. You're a good person. I was a terrible husband, and I'm an even worse father. I have no idea why she's even bothering to contact me now. I know I'm just gonna fuck it up like I always do. I'm broken. I shouldn't even go. Robert puts his hands in his head. Oof, this is heavy. What you need to hear. Nothing is going to change until you do. Robert pauses. He looks at me. There is a lot of things in my life that I regret, that I wish I could take back or do over. And it hurts so much to know that I can't. But what I can do, and what you have the privilege of doing tomorrow morning, is to wake up and try to be a better person that you were the day before. Things aren't going to fix themselves tomorrow or the next day, and patching things up with Val isn't going to solve all of your problems either. But nothing is going to change if you don't. You can't love anyone else until you stop hating yourself. And you're right, I don't know you that well, but you have the same capacity for good that we all have. And I know you can find it. Val is giving you a chance. Don't waste it. But, Robert, listen to me. It's going to be okay. But I lean over and embrace Robert, pulling him in as tightly as I can. He buries his head into my shoulders, hugging me back. It's gonna be okay. I place a hand on the back of his head and stroke his hair. He shudders, then sobs, and I realize that he's crying. Thank you. We stay there for a while, holding each other. We both eventually drift off to sleep. Slumber party! Alright. How did I not get anything for real talk? Uh-oh, where'd my pants go?
Where'd my
Shut
pants
up. Nailed it. I didn't quite nail the second date, but I got an A. So I am winning. Speed. What? No. Hello, everybody.
Yes.
I walk over to Mary, who's having a lively conversation with Amanda. Listen, kid, you're gonna need some real life skills out there if you're gonna make it out on the streets. I'm going to college. Same thing. Look, I know you're not old enough to drink. Right. And I know you're smart enough not to drink until you're of legal age. Uh-huh. But hypothetically, if you were to drink, it'd behoove you to drink a glass of water between rounds. Got it. Hypothetically. And if you wake up with a headache, all you gotta do is take a jar of pickles and drink the pickle juice. You're gonna be fine. What's going on here? Girl talk? Mary turns back to Amanda. Now let me tell you about how to deal with a bad roommate. First thing to know. You get straight A's if they die during the semester. Mary! Relax, it's a myth. Supposedly. Against my better judgment, I leave them be. I don't think I recognize that girl by the snack table. I should go say hello. Hi. I don't think we've met. Oh, we've met years ago, and I'm here for my revenge. You're Robert's kid, aren't you? Spot on. I guess that makes you Nick, huh? Yeah, it's nice to meet you. I'm glad Robert brought you along. He promised there would be free food, so that's kinda hard to pass up, and... Look, I don't know you, but can I get real with you for a sec? My old man's a real closed book, you know? Me and him, we got a long way to go. You don't erase decades of neglect in a week, but you sure can get tired of staying angry about it. That kind of bitterness, it poisons you. I think. It poisons you, I think. I'm too young for that. Anyway, lately he's been better. A lot better. Between him shaving for once and how much he talks about you, I get the feeling that you have something to do with it. So, thanks. Robert means a lot to me. I'm glad he's getting better. Just keep an eye on him while I'm not around, okay? Or else. What? I'm kidding. Or am I? I don't know why I'm talking like this. I think it runs in the family. Amanda trots up to the conversation. Hey, I love your necklace. And your hair. And just, geez, your whole vibe is cool. Thanks. I like your jacket. My girlfriend collects pins too. Oh, this is my daughter Amanda. Amanda, this is Robert's daughter Val. Nice meeting you. I heard you're a photographer. Aspiring photographer. I'm going to school for it. You take pictures? Yes. Then you're a photographer. Welcome to the biz. Val hands Amanda a business card. If you're ever looking for internships, shoot me an email. Anyway, I need to go make friends with that woman over there who's dual-wielding wine glasses. Catch you later. Val walks away. She's so cool. She gave me her business card. She touched my hand. Congrats, you just networked for the first time. I'm a regular business lady now. Quarterly projections, stock market, synergy. While you're making a fortune as a businesswoman, I gotta keep this party going. Catch you around, pups. Nick, Brian. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you too, Daisy. Bro.
Oh, bro.
Bro.
Hey. Oh.
Excuse me. Here you go. I just want to talk to Robert, please.
Hey.
Matt,
Ah.
Damien, and
Hey.
Lucian.
Oh.
Talking with Amanda. Present time. I don't want to fast forward in case I go too fast. Okay. I take a seat next to Robert as the last guests make their way out of the party. Hey. Hey.
Oh.
Robert gestures vaguely to the snack table. Good stuff. Yep. So, I had a chance to talk to Val. She physically threatened you? Yeah. That's my girl. She said you've been doing better. Trying to work on the vices. I also showered today. We sit in silence for a moment. You know, every day for me is a battle against my own self-destructive habits. But lately, it's gotten a little easier. Thanks for talking some sense into me. It's hard to get things through my thick skull sometimes, but what you said that night has actually helped. I'm glad. I like you, Nick. I like you a lot. I haven't felt this way about someone in a long time. I lean in and kiss him for a moment before he pulls away. He takes my hand in his. You're special to me.
Oh.
But I have some stuff I need to work on, emotionally, before I can get into anything romantic with you. You deserve better than who I am right now. I need to be on my own for a bit. Figure some things out. Of course. I think what you need right now is a friend, and I'm happy to be that for you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. And if you're ever ready for more than that, you know where to find me. Let's hunt ghosts sometime? I would love that. I put my head on his shoulder and we watched the sun slowly dip below the horizon together. Ah! My fangirl heart! Oh, that was so good. That was so much better than I could have ever imagined. Oh, Susie, you voiced Val. Cool. And that is it for Robert. I can't wait to do more. And as always, I will see you in the next episode. Stay lucky.